This is Dolynny TV, a day late and a day short, but the Bakersfield Condors, guys, I have to get to it because the after party has begun, and that after party is the Calder Cup playoffs, #1 in the Pacific Division. What an absolute beauty of a season. You know, if you've been following me all year long, I've had a video here, a video there about the Bakersfield Condors, and of course, well, you have to. And as bleak of a season as the Oilers had, the Bakersfield Condors brought some bright light to what could be a new crop of Oilers moving up next season. And this end of season stuff, as they have gone on that magical run to get to the #1 spot in the Pacific and just finish it storybook-like with clinching the division title. And then they're not done. That's the weird thing, right? The Oilers played out the season and they were done. They went golfing. Well, here you go. The Bakersfield Condors are heading into a best-of-5 series against the Colorado Eagles, and this is going to be fun to see what they can do against the Eagles. I think obviously a weaker team based on the kind of the way the matchups work, but I'm not going to sit here and say what I know because I don't know much about the AHL. I have never claimed to. If you've watched one of my videos, I'm just sitting here reading stats, being blown away at how good our farm club has been all season long as an Edmonton Oilers fan. Obviously, Bakersfield, I've watched one whole game this year. Pardon me, I know I should probably get on that a little bit more, maybe buy the AHL package, but that's where I'll get to this right now. You see my wall, I'm kind of collecting everything back there, a couple of big things. I've got the Colorado Rockies jersey back there. That's just, I have to find a use for that. I bought that 1 year, I used it on the outdoor rink twice, and now it's hanging up. But either in that Colorado Rockies spot or in that Edmonton Oilers photo, picture, whatever you want to call it, I will replace that. Should the Bakersfield Condors make it to the Calder Cup final, I will replace that with a Bakersfield Condors jersey. The reason I'm mentioning that right off the top of the video is right now I want you to comment which style jersey you want me to find and get up on the wall should they make it to the Calder Cup final by, well, whatever time the Calder Cup final is this year. So, obviously a couple of big things for the Bakersfield Condors. It was a heck of a year. Joe Gambardella, 29 goals in 50 AHL games this season. Don't forget what he did for our Oilers this year. He brought a lot of jam, right? DJ Gams is his Twitter handle. Well, he brought a lot of jam, to the Oilers as well this season, so don't mistake him. Tyler Benson, 15 goals, 51 assists, 66 points in 67 games. Hey, don't blink now, you might miss it. Hey, he might be a great guy on that right wing with Draisaitl and McDavid, just saying. So Condors officially Pacific Division champs. They'll start their playoff run. This is where you guys got to get the details right. I'm a details guy. Friday against the Colorado Eagles, so that'll be fun to see as a bunch of you guys I know have quite a few Bakersfield Condors followers. As Zap just jumps up here and makes herself comfy, we'll be following along Friday night, seeing what goes on. So the after party, that's the big hashtag if you guys are getting in on the jam with the Bakersfield Condors. That's Saginaw Spirit Ryan McLeod update. So, Bob Stauffer, 20 hours ago, Condors claimed top spot in the Western Conference with a 3-2 win, right? Okay, they get to the news. Tyson's forgetting the big news. Western Conference champions Benson and Cooper Marody held off score sheet but finished season 2nd and 3rd in AHL scoring. Yeah, so same amount of points for Benson just in 68 games. Caleb Jones, can't forget what he did for us in the NHL this season. 6 goals, 23 assists, 29 points total in 50 games played for those Bakersfield Condors. And with the Western Conference win, well, they've locked up playoff home turf for 1, 2, and 3 rounds deep into the AHL playoffs, and then we'll see who comes out of the East. Now, the historic tweet numbers. Pardon me. A historic 2018-2019. This is coming directly from Condors Town, the Bakersfield Condors Twitter handle. By the numbers, wins 42, most in the NE era. Home wins, how about 21, most in the AHL era. 21 road wins, well, most in the AHL era. Goals for, most goals for per game in the AHL this season. Goals against, well, Shane Starrett, boys. Shane Starrett, do I need to say more? 182 goals against, fewest in the AHL. Now, hey, if the Oilers would have gotten that goaltending this year, we'd be in the playoffs right now, and we wouldn't really be talking that much about Bakersfield. So there you have it. That's kind of the situation down there in Bakersfield, right? Things are looking good. Things are going good, and those AHL playoffs are going to be really good. So let's go get you the stats one more time about the Bakersfield Condors, because you guys, I can name off a couple of the big guys, but you wanna know who on this team really produced, and I will fill you in, because there are quite a few guys that really might surprise you in what they were doing. Calder Cup playoffs. I don't want Calder Cup playoffs. I want regular season stats. Where the heck are those? I don't see them, guys. My link's broken. That's the issue. As I said, I'm not a guy who knows everything off the top of my head, so that's unfortunate. The player stats are broken right now as they're preparing for the Calder Cup stats. So unfortunately, that is where we sit. But I mean, for the Bakersfield Condors this year, if I can find the stats, player stats, maybe turn it over. Maybe the AHL hasn't turned over stuff into the 2019 regular season all teams. There we go. Tyson knows how to solve his own problems. Submit. Thank you very much. And there you go. So Tyler Benson, Cooper Marody, and Joe Gambardella lead the team in points. Obviously, Benson 66, Cooper Marody 64 in 58 games played. If he's not NHL ready next year, God forbid if Ken Hitchcock is the head coach if he wants playing time. Joe Gambardella, 48 points, 50 games. Josh Curry, 41 points, 53 games played. Then you got Patrick Russell, who, guys, we all but forgot about Patrick Russell as Edmonton Oilers fans, right? He came up, got injured, and then disappeared to the minors. He put up 40 points this year for the Bakersfield Condors. Mitch Callahan, a guy that I can only describe as a true AHL caliber player, puts up 34 points, a big part of what they were doing down there in Bakersfield all year long for 61 games. Logan Day, this is a guy to keep on the radar, ladies and gentlemen. 34 points in 64 games played for our Bakersfield Condors down there for the Oilers affiliate. And guess what? That's great. He's a rookie coming into the AHL this past season. So, well, good for him. Dave Gust, another guy I can only describe as a hard-working guy that plays AHL minutes and gets the job done. 33 points, 59 games played. And this is the one that really feels good, because we all know, if you followed me early in the season, is I made note with Matt Moswich in my video. I believe I made note in that video or a different video. Ethan Bear was not exactly putting on the points early in the season. He finishes with 31 points in 52 games. So don't sit here and think he's out of the contention just because we got Jones and Bouchard looking like they're absolutely primed to be in the Oilers lineup next year. Legason, Brad Malone, 27-29. Or 27-25, and then you've got Cameron Hebig with 29, same with Jones. Lots of guys just getting those mid-20 points, but guys, we didn't have that on the Oilers this year. Luke Esposito, 24 points. Evan Polai, 20. Ryan Stanton, 20 in 65 games played. Keegan Lowe, another guy that, same with Ethan Bear, struggling for points early in the season, finishes all 67 games with 20 assists. I mean, there's 68 games in the season, I believe, but you get my point. Kyler Yamamoto, this is the disappointing factor. A lot of injuries he suffered with this year. 18 points in 27 games. Then you got Tyler Vessel, 18 points, 61 games. And this is where everybody doesn't really play all those games, and you kind of get a little bit messy. So that's kind of the skaters overlook. And guys, this is why this team looks so good going into the playoffs. As you see all of those numbers, well, sit on these numbers really well. Shane Sterrett in 42 games played, a .233 save percentage, or goals against. Holy crap, I can't get anything right. I'm out of practice. Take the weekend off and forget how to do my job. 42 games played, like I said, only allowed 95 goals. So think, 182 goals against this year, only half of them in 42 games came against Shane Sterrett. What does that say about Al Montoya, Stuart Skinner, Dylan Wells? Well, they had off years. That's really all I'm reading into it. 27, 7, and 5 in those 42 games for Shane Sterrett, and a .918 save percentage. Well, that's all right. That is absolutely all right. I cannot complain about that. Let me see if I can get this here. Shots received in shootout. Shots, where's his shutouts? Shutouts. 4 shutouts for Shane Sterrett as well. So a guy that definitely needs the top goaltending bill in the AHL this season. Give him that award before the playoffs even begin. So guys, now that I've taken a look at the numbers, explained them over to you, and kind of given you my thoughts on them, well, this is as simple as this. That jersey's going to be hanging in place of that picture right away. Right away. You give it enough weeks to get into that fourth and final round of the AHL Calder Cup playoffs. Guys, Bakersfield Condors jersey is going to be hanging up there. Now, like I said, start of the video, I need your suggestions. Do I go with the claw over the oil drip? Do I go with the navy blue, the beautiful, you know, that style jersey, but in the new style with the navy blue instead of the orange? Or do I go with what do I go with? And maybe I go and splurge a little bit and get a player on the back. What do you guys think? What should I end up going with for this Bakersfield Condors jersey that will be hanging there when my boys down there in Bakersfield, you guys, this is for the Bakersfield fans, your boys get into those Calder Cup playoff finals. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Comment below. I am up on out of here.